Hello, everybody. Accelerators, driver's seat members, and casual looky-loos, I guess. This is Diane, and I'm coming to you today a little bit more casually because I'm an entrepreneur and I can. I don't have to dress up, don't have to be in my video studio, don't have to be fully made up with jewelry and everything. I just came from a Pilates workout and I am presenting to you the real me. All right. So let's talk about some of the things that you enjoy about being an entrepreneur. Some of the things that I enjoy about being an entrepreneur is I can have a casual workspace. Look around. This is my office. My office is in my apartment. So if you look over there, or maybe it's over there, you can see into like my kitchen and dining area. When I need a snack, I just head over there and go get one. No need to go to the corporate cafeteria. No need to go out to lunch. No need to spend that additional money. In fact, if I don't want to eat lunch, I don't have to. So, casual workspace. Secondly, I'm in a flexible location. I can take my laptop, my lighting, my my notepad, my binders, and I can do this Facebook Live from anywhere that I have a Wi-Fi connection. Now, trust me, that's not as easy as you think. So it's one of those things that you do really need to plan for, but I also have a hotspot, which allows me to connect to cell service and get my own Wi-Fi. And in many cases, if you look at your phone, you have a hotspot capability too, that you can turn your cell phone into your very own hotspot. So I have a flexible work location. I have flexible work timing. And this might be, out of all the things that I like about being an entrepreneur, this might be my personal favorite. I don't have to get up and be in the office at a particular time in the morning. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I can languish in bed all day, and I certainly try not to do that so that I can have a productive day and have my evenings off the way your average corporate person does. But if it so happens that it's a beautiful sunny day outside like today, I have the capability of being outdoors, working on my tan, working in the garden, going for a stroll, heading over to the lake to take some pictures, or doing any of that stuff. I have the capability to do that in the middle of the day instead of working at my desk. So flexible work time is my personal favorite because it allows me to take advantage of the weather, the sunshine, and oftentimes what recreational activities are available to me. And last but not least, I love being an entrepreneur because as long as I get my work done, I get to play hooky whenever I want. Okay? So I can be flexible as to whether I work at all today or whether I don't work at all today. So my commitment to you is that I would go weekly live on Facebook, which is the reason I'm here. But as soon as this weekly live is done, I'm going to write this week's weekly newsletter called the Weekly Traction Tips. And hopefully, if you're in my Facebook group, Accelerate Your Success, you should be getting the weekly traction tips. And if you're not, just send me a quick DM. You can find me on Facebook at Diane Hook Spadola. In addition to that, whoops, I don't want to put up that one. Hold on a second. Okay, so you can join our group there. Once you get admitted to the group, Accelerate Your Success on Facebook, which is one of the places that I'm broadcasting right now, you will be added to the weekly newsletter. I call it Weekly Traction Tips. Pretty much the same idea as what we're doing today, but the newsletter goes more in depth and asks you to put something into action, as opposed to being reminders or thinking prompts, which is the way this Facebook Live is. So again, the last thing that I like about being an entrepreneur is that I get to make an impact on other people's lives. So differently than when you were in corporate and most of the work that you were doing was about keeping the corporate machine going At least it was for me once I got up to the higher echelons. We had sort of lost touch, or I personally had lost touch with the people that I was supposed to be helping, because instead I was making decisions that were based on organizational health, organizational development. And although I do believe that those things are important, I had kind of lost track of who is the customer, who is the hero in my story. So now I get to focus on you because you are the hero in my story. Now, what exactly am I talking about? Well, you know how when you see a movie or you go to a play or even some songs that tell stories, there's a character, sometimes there's a villain, there's a plan for one to eliminate the other, and then there's usually a third person. We like to call that person a guide. That's the person that helps put together the plan that's going to allow the hero to defeat the villain. Then there's usually a call to action, which creates a tremendous sort of climax of story, action, drama, and then the hero either succeeds and avoids failure, or they don't. I happen to like the stories where the hero succeeds, because who doesn't love a happy ending, right? I'm a Disney girl from way back when, and although there is a tremendous amount of animal violence in most Disney animated movies, it usually ends up happily. So let's talk a little bit about this notion of the hero's journey. I am sharing with you today all the things that I learned from reading this book, okay? Creating a Story Brand by Donald Miller. I'd like to say it's probably a classic business book, probably as important in the way the world works today as How to Win Friends and Influence People, written by Dale Carnegie, was the years that those were that it was published. So this was published, I think, in 2000, and let's just take a look, 2017. But what this book is about is relationship marketing. It's creating a story for your product or your service or yourself, if you actually are the brand, and being able to tell that story in a really well-organized fashion, okay? So let me give you some examples. There's a character. We like to call that character the hero. In my situation, with what I do, which is helping marketing hesitant, marketing challenged entrepreneurs put themselves out into the marketplace in a really easy, simple relationship marketing fashion, my character is you, okay? You have a problem, as most characters do. Your problem is the fact that nobody knows who you are. You could be perceived as invisible. Maybe not necessarily among your friends and family, but among the world at large. And if you take a look at all the potential clients that you have in the world, you are, in fact, invisible. You're a tiny, tiny little microscopic blip on the business strategy line, okay? The business timeline, all right? Your problem is that you need to be made more visible. So part of the story is that you need a guide that can help you, an expert, a planner, a teacher, a coach, a mentor, okay? That person, me, thank you very much, is the guide. The guide helps you to put together a plan to overcome your problem. That plan of action is 3 to 6 to 10 steps of how to get yourself seen in the marketplace so that you are no longer invisible, okay? So that's what my plan is for you. And then at a specific point, I'm going to challenge you to put yourself out there, all right? because heroes need to be challenged. This is when you get the big build up to drama, action. This is the fight scene, the battle. All right. This is where you need to overcome, be brave, be courageous. So I'm going to challenge you and I'm going to ask you to act. In some cases, that's going to be scary. In other cases, it's going to be something that maybe you did in the past and didn't think that it worked. Maybe it's something that you have never tried before, like going live on Facebook. But what happens is that will end in success. And if it doesn't end in success, it's going to end in a learning opportunity. There is no such thing as failure when you're an entrepreneur. You either succeed or you learn. All right? So what would be success? Well, you have reduced anxiety. You have reduced workload. You find it easier to do what you do for the people who love you the most. All right? Your business grows as a result. You're working only with clients that you love and clients that love you back. And they're sharing you with others. So you are no longer invisible. You're extremely well known in your niche as an expert, as a problem solver, as a person to go to for that problem. So what else? Well, if you haven't overcome success in your story because of the plan that I gave you, then at least you've avoided failure. And what would failure be? That you continue to be invisible, that you lose clients instead of gain them, that your market becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. Your client list becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. You're stressed, you're anxious, you don't know where your next paycheck's coming from because you truly have hidden yourself underneath the radar. I want you to break out of that shell. I want you to avoid that nasty scenario of you having to go out and get a real job, okay? I want you to be able to be the successful entrepreneur that you know deep down inside you are. I know deep down inside you are. You are my hero. And I'm going to help you find a way to get your shining light out into the marketplace in a way that is not icky, in a way that feels comfortable for you and your potential clients, and a way that maximizes your superpower. You might not even know what that is right now, but we're going to help you figure it out. And this is the right place, my online classroom, Accelerate Your Success. So let me tell you, I'm looking down at my notes, and let me share with you the format for what this book teaches, okay? It's excellent. It allows you to tune your story into a hero's journey. Not you, I mean, in my case, you're my hero, all right? But when you're delivering your services into the world, the people that are the heroes in that story are your potential clients and customers, your ideal client, your person that you've made an impact on. All right. When you read the book, you can download this great form. It talks about your hero. It talks about the problem. It talks about the guide. It talks about the plan. All right. You can fill this out. And I promise you that if everything you do from that point forward focuses on this story, then you will have a niche. You'll have a character, you'll have a hero, you'll be able to describe your ideal client perfectly. You'll know exactly what your personal superpowers are in guiding that client to success, and you will be able to do it successfully in a way, like I said, that's not icky, in a way that you're comfortable putting yourself out there. I'm not saying put your name on a billboard. I'm saying do what you feel is appropriate for who you are and what your customer needs. That's it for today. Want to remind everybody that it's Taco Tuesday. Okay. It's also the first day of June. I'm trying to think what that would be. And mine is a blank. But it's Taco Tuesday, which means that it's the day that we ask you to post in this group the tools, applications, resources that you use to make your life easier and present your business with more opportunities. Then, if you haven't already, you can download the entire list of Taco Tuesday resources in my Taco Tuesday resource guide that you can find in the files section of the Accelerate Your Success Facebook group. That's it for me today. Have a fabulous week. Be sure to get some sun. Be sure to enjoy wherever it is that you're working. And I'll see you next week.